The Strange Universe of the Mop Swingers. Chapter 7, Shift 1446. You and Peter walked across the parking lot. You carried the vacuums. Peter carried the mop sticks. You reached the door. A heavy bag of dirty mop heads waited for them. You unlocked the door. Peter stepped past you and turned off the alarm. Stray dogs gathered under the window, and Peter threw them some leftover bagels. I carried a good digital book, cinematography for the DSLR. It's a quick read. I could send it to you if you want. From below the floor, a creepy wheezing sound set you to unease. Okay, that's cool. Is that like your camera? The wheezing turned to scratching under Peter's feet, and worse, like something's back was rubbing against the floor, or what would be the ceiling down below. Yeah, any digital camera. The Mop Swingers were not afraid of wild things, sights that most people couldn't recover from, like seeing the face of God or the devil. Wild things were wild and therefore easily confused by a cool mind with a plan. Wild things were cowardly things to you. Yeah, I really have to get better. The big things downstairs slithered under Peter's feet. The wetness of its terrible exoskeleton wandered off to parts unknown. It's not really complicated after all, and if we can get into the wedding filming game, it could be a useful friend. The battery to the Zamboni was not charged for some reason. You helped Peter both drag and push the several ton objects, which were more stubborn than a constipated elephant. Remember I showed you the trailer for the PI movie about a month ago? The director was interviewed on that screenwriting podcast I like. It's kind of interesting because it's his first movie. He sounded pretty green around the gills. He wrote it and directed it. It reminded me of your situation a lot. He got the phone number to the actor who was in it, got drunk, called him, they clicked, and he sent him the script. It doesn't look too good to me, but when I heard this part about it, I kind of got interested. He shot it on 35mm and on the as the old spaghetti westerns, which give you 22 minutes instead of the typical 11 per canister. The battery acid leaked out and melted the brush of the Zamboni, so the whole place needed to be mopped by hand, the old-fashioned way. The garage alone was the size of several football fields. You helped Peter push and drag the useless, constantly breaking down, hopelessly depressed Zamboni back inside and hooked it back up to the charger. They hoped it wouldn't melt the battery again, but they didn't do anything as far as engineering. They just hoped. And so the movie is 5 short films, each 22 minutes long, that tell the whole story, and they all are in one unbroken shot each. Night after night, Peter put the garbage cans back under the desks. Oh, interesting indeed. It occurred to you that trash was the true currency of the world. If it stopped moving, everyone was fucked. That's pretty hard to do with film. Imagine being that Steadicam operator. It occurred to Peter that trash was probably his closest relative. I don't think that particular technique has been used before. That's pretty wild. A good half night's head start was ruined when a garbage bag exploded and a puddle of curdled milk spread across the floor, whose smell resembled a lit stink bomb. I gotta see it now, I guess. Peter got a good laugh every time you screwed up the vacuum bag exchange. He acted like it was one jet refueling another during a dogfight. Is it getting good reviews? You started throwing a pile of broken televisions into the dumpster. I don't know. Peter was alone in a dark corner with a mop bucket with a broken wheel. It squeaked and wouldn't go straight. He went in circles on the way to the sink. They called it running the Nautilus. You put the hose in the bucket. He turned the water on. The water demon of the Great Lakes possessed you when Peter was around. It coiled to the ceiling, shooting water like a sprinkler gone rogue. Peter got soaked before it got under control. Frustrated, he pushed the now full mop bucket towards the barely visible light at the end of the garage. The drain caught one of the wheels of the mop bucket. Of course it flipped over. So much water fell on his shoes, his socks got soaked too. And there was nothing worse than swinging a mop with wet socks. Frustrated, he refilled the bucket. Finally, he made it to the supply cabinet. He poured some soap in the bucket. He went through the process of putting a new mop head on the stick. He pushed the bucket through the waiting room to the showroom, then turned on the lights. A creepy figure knocked on the door and almost caused Peter a heart attack. Another lost soul trying to drop the keys off after the place was obviously closed. The mad fools. Peter continued mopping the floor. The mops got stuck under the wheel of a chair. When he tried to get it out, the cord to his headphones got caught on the handle of a drawer and caused them to fly off his head straight into the mop bucket. They would never play music again. That was for damn sure. Peter took off his rubber gloves. His hands enjoyed the fresh air. He threw them in the gutter. This some bullshit.